days of hope, 35 days of 40 days of hope, I should say. We've been talking about hope since February 18th when I started this series. And the reason I'm doing this series right now is because I just knew in my spirit that with this being the season of new beginnings, it's leading into from Purim to Passover to Resurrection Sunday, starting, as I said, the first day of Lent. And this is the spring. The first day of spring was last Friday, the 20th of March. So it's a season of new beginnings. And hope is a powerful force. Hope is not a amorphous hopium, that wishing and a hoping. It really is the knowingness. It's that substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So basically, hope is that foundation. It's the foundation of going forward. It's the foundation of your life. It is a powerful, powerful force. And when you quote unquote lose hope, then you've lost every aspect of the meaning of life. Why would you do anything? And so hope is that that vision, that mission, that goal, and it's imperative. And so we started this. I started this with you 40, 35 days ago. This series will end on Sunday, and that will be the 40th day. But with that said, the last 5 nights I have been, or 4 nights, this is the fourth night, I've been going over the pillars of the Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program. And the 5 pillars of starting, scaling, and sustaining the business and life of your dreams is clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and compassion. And we started, I should say, we've done clarity, courage, confidence last night. And tonight we're going to speak about commitment. And that's the foundation tonight, or the subject matter of tonight is commitment. And commitment is something that doesn't just happen. You build it, you build to it. Hello, 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 and welcome to the 35th night of the 40 or 35th day of the 40 days of hope. I'm Megan DiMartino, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. It'll help people find us. I don't know if you've been with me before, but I do series all the time, and they become podcasts. And I would love, I'll share more about that later, but do subscribe and ring that bell so you are notified when I go live. I do go live every evening around this time because I'm in central US at Texas specifically, near Austin, Texas. But I wanted to be, the beginning of the day in Eastern, let's say Europe and Middle East, and then West, it's going West, it's the still today. So basically, I go live around this time, end of the day here in Central US because of that. Now, with that, this has been 40 Days of Hope. That's the topic. And tonight is the 35th day of the 40 days. And each day we have a different topic under the umbrella of hope. Hope is a powerful force. Without hope, you really have no motivation and focus, that mission, that vision, that focus to take those steps and keep going. So it's imperative to have hope in every facet of your life. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So that substance is that knowingness. And in that knowingness is what keeps you propelled forward. As I said, I'm doing these last few nights of these 40 days. We're going over the 5 pillars of the Propel program to start, scale, and sustain the business and life of your dreams. And the fourth is commitment. But I started to say, as you guys were coming in, that um, you have to prepare for that commitment, though. You're not just going to say, I'm going to be committed to this. It's about being clear, knowing your why. Even, for instance, let's just use an exercise program. I started working out in the last month in a very interesting gym called Alloy. And Alloy is a small personal training, resistance training gym. So there's 4 to 6 people in the class. That's it with the trainer, but it's resistance. And each training is different. Now, the reason I shared that is I have not worked out. I mean, I've gone to Orange Theory and I, walk quite a bit. But the thing is, I have not worked out and certainly not resistance training, maybe ever. But I had to be prepared for that. I couldn't just say, and I mean this, guys, because I know me and I know human nature, meaning that I might have said, I really do need to work out, which is fact. But if I wasn't prepared for it, I would have done 1 month and probably not continued on. So it's that preparation, but knowing that why, being clear on it, clear why I would do it, why I wanted to do it, because my why about it is to build strength, to for my upper body, which is pretty strong, but my lower body, my legs, not so much. And my gut, my core, not so much, meaning my arms, fairly strong. But I knew that I needed to build my entire body as I'm getting older to, really be prepared and not be weakened, so to speak. I do a lot of other things, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But I knew it was time. So anyway, the bottom line is I needed to be prepared. I needed to know my why. I needed to be clear on why. Then I had to, in that preparation, seek, just know or seek out what I was going to do because I knew also if I went to a big gym, nah, I would fail. I would fail. So it's that courage to test things, to try things, and to see what would work. And then that confidence to know. So I tried enough to know that I could do it. I knew I could. And when I found this program that really, really is great, great program, but I also knew that it would be something that I would be able to commit to. So it's that commitment. So it's that clarity, that courage, building up that courage muscle, that confidence to know I could do it, and then commitment to it. So that was applicable to everything in life. So certainly starting a business. I mean, goodness gracious, there's tremendous financial investment. There's tremendous change and growth and evolution of it. You have got to be clear on why you're going to do it and then build that courage muscle, meaning step off, take that small step. And the second and third step will be revealed to you, but you've got to be clear. Then from there, you build that confidence and then that commitment, knowing as you know that you're not going to stop. So it's that commitment that will propel you, continue to propel you forward. So I started this program in 2022 for you, uh, the Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program, shortly after I sold my large luxury day medical and wellness spa. I continued on. I found a new location a couple blocks over because we do regenerative wellness. And so I was going to continue that. That was not part of the purchase. And of course, my skincare products, Novitas Spa clinical products. I'm a medical esthetician. I've been doing skincare facials for years. I mean, I'm talking about 35. And so we would continue doing that type of work and the regenerative wellness work. I also represent this company, LifeWave, which is a non-transdermal stem cell activation patch. So we do seminars and workshops and obviously consulting for patients. But the point is that we've been doing this a long time. And I was looking for my glasses because I want to see who's coming in. But anyway, I started, and so we moved a couple blocks over and continued on. But during that season, I knew as I knew that it was time to give back to you. So I started working on writing, creating what I now call the Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program. Now, you can go to my link tree, which is called, or you can go to propel.megandimartino.com/info, and you can find the Propel program, but also what I call the Propel community. No charge for Propel community. Just click on it. It's on this link tree, and you get a daily message of inspiration and encouragement, a newsletter, every bi-monthly newsletter. We do workshops and virtuals and trainings and so forth. I have really interesting people often come on this, not only this series, but also my podcasts, Unique Leaders Live, Propel Deep Dive. And so they have evolved over the years, but these are interview podcasts. So it's chock full of things for you. My book is there, Hope and Possibilities, Just Over the Horizon. My TED Talk is there. So there's things, tools for you to continue to glean information that I provide and share. So these series are just part of that. Now, tonight, as I said, the topic is commitment, and just want to read here. Which country am I talking to? I don't know. Wherever you are. So, but hello, hello, and some of the names I can't. Chili Boy and Curse something or other, and Aileen and Rafa. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome to the 35th day of the 40 days of hope. And, I've been building businesses for a long, long time. Started back when I was in my 20s, doing Tupperware, selling Tupperware. And I built it, I became a Tupperware manager, got a car and all that. And the why of that, truly, I wasn't interested in selling plastic bowls, but I was interested, or excuse me, my why was I needed money and I needed a car. And that was my motivation. But what was interesting about it for me, looking back, is I learned so much about sales. I learned so much about building teams, and I learned so much. I didn't know it then, but my purpose is you, to help you identify your dreams, goals, and desires and attain them. Because when I was doing that, as I said, I was a young person, um, and I thought I was going to, well, let me say it this way. I had a dream I've always known I was a creative, so I knew I was going to create something, but I thought it was going to be in the fashion industry. But God had a different plan. And so time evolved, and but in that early stage of my 20s, mid 20s, I was at kind of a real challenging time in my personal life. And as I said, I needed money, I needed a job, but I had two small kids, and I needed a car because I had no car. So even if I wanted a job, I couldn't get to it, that type of vicious cycle. Yes, yes. And so I met someone who introduced me to Tupperware, as I said, um, I wasn't interested in selling plastic bowls, but I was interested in that car. So that was my motivation. So think about some things that you um, may not aspire to, but can help you get to that next place. Now, again, I really didn't know at the time that I was going to learn so much from doing that and gained so much from it because there's always a silver lining. You will always get something from it if you put it in, that energy in, that commitment in to it. So once I started, guys, I I knew that it was going to be fruitful, not only financially, which it was able to save money and buy myself a car, but it gave me, as I said, the transportation to not only do that work, but for my own personal life. And so that was so helpful with two young children and just my general life. And so I really had no understanding of what I was going to benefit from it, but I did know my why I was going to do it, and was, stepped out because I'd never sold anything, stepped out and started building that confidence, that courage muscle that led to that confidence that gave me the understanding that I could do it and build that um, team in it and get my car and commit to that. So I did that for about 4 years until it was time to go into another dynamic. But I learned from that and grew from that, and it took me to the next place. So often, when you commit to something that you need, might not be the ultimate of your vision, but it is a means to an end, so to speak. It helps you get you, propel you to that next place. So make no mistake, nothing will stay the same, nothing. You will always evolve from it, but you have to take that first step. So always tie a scripture to what we're speaking about. And tonight, as I said, is commitment. And one of the, you know, there are two things about commitment. I mean, there's so much about commitment, but Philippians 4, 6, 7 is that when you bring your anxiety to God, He will bring you the peace that and will guard your heart. And so, what I mean by that is that anxiety is, confusion, stress, um, just internalizing challenges. But if you recognize, and that's the thing, the battlefield is in the mind. And when you recognize that you are that spirit of confusion, because God is not the author of confusion. And when you know that that spirit of confusion is just, taking over, you give that, and God will guard your heart. But you need to have that constant. And I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about prayer, because again, Matthew 7, 8 is ask, seek, and knock. So, you not do not again, when you prayer is a conversation with God to really ask, seek, knock. If you ask for guidance, if you really seek it out, He will show you, and knock, and the door will be open. Recently, now I talked about something, years and years ago, but recently, again, I'm sitting in the boutique of the Novita uh, Beauty Regenerative Wellness Clinic. And we did a major um, a Zoom tonight with my team, and that was for LifeWave. And so I'm just finishing up the day. But in the back 4 or 5 months ago, some things shifted here. And I'm not going to go into the long story, but bottom line is, when things are going along and I guess I would say take them for granted, but going along, because nothing stays the same, nothing. But it's going along, and then there was two gals that, because I rent the treatment rooms to medical spa professionals, and two gals, um, for different reasons, but had changes in their lives, and their leases were up for renewal, and they were both going to leave. So and all of a sudden, abruptly, I had these two rooms available. And I really wasn't clear on what I wanted to do. Meaning, did I want to bring strangers in? These were women that had been my employees at that large luxury day medical wellness spa. So I'd known them for years, trusted them, liked them, and just really wasn't sure if it was time to open the door for strangers. And I really, really, but wasn't sure. But they paid me rent. That was loss of income there, or maintenance of the overhead, and so I just wasn't sure. But I really wasn't really wanting to bring strangers in here. But I sought God out, and really asked for guidance. And what was interesting, guys, is that I got nothing, nothing. I just was like, there was no like, oh no, you need to put an ad in, blah, blah, blah. No, or you need to confer with some medical people that I know in the area. No, I just had that void. And what was interesting is then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, a person walked in here and, um, just, asked if we were hiring. And we started talking, and she's going to help me do a whole different type of thing. I'm not going to go into that tonight, but if I didn't have those rooms available, we couldn't do it. So I could see now it was more my fashion business, which is a little side hustle that I have, a vintage business that I've had for many, many years. But uh, if I had rented those rooms, it would have set up. I mean, yes, I would have gotten rent, but other things that would not necessarily be positive. And this way, God has opened that door, knock, He will open it to what is best for you. There's always a plan, always a plan. So when you're feeling anxious and when you're feeling confused, it's always go to Him in prayer and thanksgiving, and He will give you peace that passes all understanding and guard your heart. And then Matthew 7:8 is ask, seek, and knock. So, guys, I hope that helped. Uh, you know, I just want to really encourage you to start a conversation with God. He's always there, He's waiting on you to just ask, seek, and knock. So thank you guys for joining me tonight for the 35th evening of the 40 Days of Hope. So hopefully see you tomorrow. But in the meantime, go to propel.megandemartino.com/info. And that link tree is there with all of this information of all of these facets that I do and have done, and information for you. So we'll see you tomorrow night, and be blessed.